Found out my wife was sleeping with her male BFF the whole time we were dating, because it helped her get to know me. Part 3. I am back in the comfort of my own home. Unfortunately, I and several others may be staring down the barrel of divorce. I was able to keep it together for the most part on day 6. Although I'm sure everyone knew something was wrong with me. I was very quiet and kept trying to push the pace to get back to the van. I assume at lunchtime was when Liv pulled Ian aside and filled him in on what I knew. At that point, Ian started trying to buddy up to me and talk. Even though I told him to leave me be. He persisted a few more times, until I finally snapped and told him to drop it in a very assertive way. Liv then intervened and they both got the hint I needed more time to process. The next 24 hours went smooth enough, everyone just kind of left me alone. However, after snapping at him, Ian had a total demeanor change. He went from his usual laid-back self to somewhat standoffish with everyone. Occasionally he would make little passive-aggressive comments. Nothing too obvious but definitely directed at me. We hit the night of the 7th day and set up camp. I had relaxed a little and was being a bit more social with everyone. We were sitting around the campfire and cooking up the last of our foods. People were just talking, joking, telling stories. Billy told everyone a long embarrassing story about himself from high school. It's a pretty funny story about him and his first girlfriend, and in it he acts like a pretty big idiot. When he was done he made some comment like, "I still can't believe I was ever that dumb, I still cringe thinking about it." After he said that, Ian popped off, "Well, at least you grew, some people never man up and get over the past." He then looked right at me with the most condescending look. In that moment I had an out-of-body experience. I saw only red, the filter was gone, reason was gone, it was on. You know, Ian, you're right, sometimes we just got to man up and face the past head-on. At this point Liv tried interrupting but I completely ignored her. "How about we address the fact you used to fuck all our wives while we were dating?" Even the insects got quiet when I said that. "Oh fellas, did you not know either?" Yeah, while they were holding out on us to build a connection, I totally air-quoted, our future wives were using old Ian here as their human dildo. Dom and Billy looked confused and angry. Sean had a look on his face like he just walked in on his grandma masturbating. Just total train wreck shock. I wasn't done though. I turned to Dom. It was Kate that pioneered this amazing plan. She figured out the key to building a lasting relationship was to take things slow, get to know each other before jumping into bed. All you need to handle the urges is a bestie willing to blow your back out when you come home from your dates all hot and bothered. Dom jumped in at this point. "Fuck you, Eli, how do you know this?" "Oh, I just found out 2 days ago that when I'd take Liv out for shots that wasn't going to be the only thing she was swallowing that night." At this point Liv lost it and she started screaming at me, "Why are you fucking doing this? You don't need." But she got cut off when Sean popped up. "It's true, it's all true." Everyone got quiet and looked at him. I've known since we were dating. I didn't find out it was everyone else too, until after we were married. "I'm sorry, Eli, I could have warned. Billy, I swear I didn't know it was you two back then." Billy had this immense look of dread on his face. "Sean, we used to double date Miranda and Sarah, a couple times we went out and then dropped them off at Ian's afterwards. Does that mean they?" Sean just looked at him and nodded. I immediately turned to Ian, "Two at once, you fucking hound dog you." Then I howled like a wolf, which in hindsight is really embarrassing but at the time I thought was hilarious. Arguments were breaking out between the couples all over when an audible gasp and whimper drew everyone's attention. OD was sitting there with heavy tears rolling down his face. He looked at Ian. "Lies, more lies, it never ends, no matter what I forgive, no matter how many times I take you back, you always do this to me." He then slapped him and turned and took off down the trail. Ian ran after him. The other 3 couples grumbled under their breaths at each other, then each started off in separate directions. I stood by the fire feeling triumphant. Liv walked up to me and said, "I hope you're happy." I quickly looked her in the eye and said, "I've never been more fucking happy with myself in my whole life. I'm 80/20ths for divorce right now. I recommend leaving me be until we are home, unpacked, showered and fed, because the only thing you are going to accomplish before then is getting me turn that to 100. At that point she turned and went into our tent. The next day was the most awkward 7 hours of my life. Between the morning pack-up, hike to the van, loading up and 4.5-hour drive home, maybe 19 words were said in total. I'm sitting in my bathroom freshly showered. I'm going to go eat some chicken nugs, drink 3 Dr. Peppers, and then talk to my wife. I don't know where we are going from here, or where anyone else is going to end up, but I know it's not going to be pretty any which way.